is going on, everybody? Pete Simonetti here from the one, the only NYY News. I want to talk about Gary Sanchez, the resurgence of Gary Sanchez. What has happened? Look, we're not going to make this a big thing. It's just awesome for the Yankees. I remember going back to spring training. Me and Ryan Beck were doing a podcast, the No Offense podcast, and I remember saying, I feel like just the expectations that Yankee fans have with Gary Sanchez are unfair. A lot of the talk about, MVP, he's going to bounce back, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. A couple of years ago, a break in the home run record for catchers. And I remember just saying, after he struggled, if he's not that guy, he's not that guy. Here's what I want, and it still was solid numbers. I just said hit over 220, 20-plus homers, 70-plus RBIs. That would put you at an elite catcher and better defense. That's all I wanted. So far, Gary's exceeding everything. Now, let's not lie. Let's not be silly here. There was a point where most of us sat back and said, damn, this might be the end of Gary. I, again, had reports this year where Yankees brass were really getting fed up with him and saying, you know what? Enough is enough. Right after that, Kyle Higashioka broke into that, I'm going to play more than just for Garrett Cole. And the whole Cole thing, we'll get into that at some point. We'll talk a lot about that. It's interesting. But where they're at right now, Gary's at an all-time high. He's getting to that all-time high level again, where as a fan, as somebody who watches the game, you want Gary to come up because you know what he's capable of doing. One of the big things, and I'm going to go over some numbers and just kind of show what has happened, what the numbers are really looking like when it comes to Gary Sanchez before and after, and really just over his last 30, 15, 10 games, how good he's been for the Yankees and how important that is for an offense that has struggled mightily up to this point. Where if you get Gary going, DJ LeMahieu gets going a little bit, Judge keeps being Judge, this is only going to make the Yankees win more games and be a lot better as a ball club. So this is what we want as a fan, right? So let's get into some of those numbers right now. Gary Sanchez. The one thing I have noticed with Gary Sanchez is the giant leg kick has disappeared. The giant leg kick is now gone. He does not do that. What he was doing before was when the pitch was on its way, he lifted the leg up, meaning that you better hope you could either catch a fastball or you could sit on a breaking pitch. And what was happening a lot of those times was Gary was basically becoming in a tough spot of basically what to do and how does he do it. Would he have been able to catch up? Their timing was completely off. Now, if you see Gary, the foot is down before the pitch is thrown. So he is balanced. He could sit fastball all day, but if he gets caught in between with an off-speed pitch, he's able to get the meat of the bat around to the ball to drive it. That's what you're seeing with Gary. And also, what we've loved from Gary in the past is he can now wait longer, take the ball to the opposite field. That is something that Gary lost for a while with that leg kick, lifting up too much, being in between a pitch. So that is the major difference of what we're seeing right now with Gary Sanchez. And man, I got to tell you, that is so huge. The fastball was an issue, right? We've seen Gary get blown away with 88-mile-an-hour fastballs. We've seen that happen often. And we were saying, God, the guy can't catch up anymore. Like, what is going on? Now, that's a different story. So let's take a look at one of these stats I want to talk about when it comes to the fastball specifically. In his first 33 games of the year, this is against the fastball, Gary was hitting 175 average, slugging 317, okay? You heard that number. His last 22 games off the fastball alone, 318 average, 682 on base. 682 slugging. I was about to say on base percentage. My goodness. But that is possibly, top level for Gary Sanchez. Does he continue that? We'll see. But Gary was always a good fastball hitter. So what he's done now is made the adjustment that we know he needed to make. And that's awesome. That's what we want to see from every player. The game is a game of adjustments. Gary Sanchez was failing at a lot of things, folks. It's not bad to talk about that. There was, all the conversation about conditioning. There was all the conversation about not hustling. There was all the conversation about, is his mind really there? Will he ever be a good catcher? Gary Sanchez has busted his ass. That's obvious by the way he looks, the way he plays. He's worked very hard. So whatever it was, I like to say, and I really believe this, that the friendly competition really means a lot. I think it's very important when a team goes out there and goes, hey, you're not performing. We got to get you out of here. We got to move on. We got to do something. I really believe the idea that the Yankees said, hey, you're no longer the starting guy, we'll go day to day, really bothered Gary. I think it was almost when you just get comfortable in the position and you just let it ride. You're like, I'm good. They know I'm good. I'll just let it go. I'll do what I got to do, and that's it. And then you kind of get maybe a newcomer or somebody new comes along, or you just get that kick in the ass. And it's as simple as time to get going. Time to get going. Either I get going or I just cower out. And Gary ain't no coward. Gary's proven he's no coward. Gary's the man. Gary's shown he's the man. Gary's shown he's the middle of the lineup guy that we all thought he would be. So let's take a look at this real quickly. Last 30 games for Gary Sanchez, okay? 283 average. Last 15, 346. Homers, last 30 games, 9. Slugging percentage, 626. These numbers are beyond stupid. And they are what we thought Gary Sanchez would be and could be. Now, again, I just throw my hands up for a second and I say, look, let's be happy. Let's be excited. Let's embrace what Gary Sanchez has done and the bounce back he's had. It's huge for this ball club because this team needs offense. And, of course, Gary Sanchez is one of the major problems of that. Now, he's not. The foot down before, the timing is there again. I would love to know how it came about that and how they got back to that when there's all this video available, and you would hope that somebody was prepared enough to say, hey, Gary, let's take a look at these videos. This is something to take a look at, something we got to... I would love to know how that happened. Anyway, you guys let me know in the comments below. Couple of different things. Does Gary Sanchez continue this? Do the Yankees keep Gary Sanchez? Does he stay around? I mean, I think at this point now, it's kind of logical. But what do you see happening going forward with Gary Sanchez? How important is he to this New York Yankee lineup? I think that is something we got to look at. I think it's something that I'm excited about. I'm excited to see Gary's at-bats now. Before, it was so frustrating to see such a good player just really, really not do what you know he's capable of. So, again, guys, Gary, it feels like Slamchez is back. The Sanchino, whatever they call them. I like Slamchez, Gary Slamchez. He's back, man. He's looking good. He's hustling. Remember that play he did I said on the play it was the most, what did I say again? Unintentionally elegant tag out at third base. He, duked the guy out, but it was so unintentionally weird. It was odd, but he did it. It was very, very Gary Sanchez at his most elegant, let's say that. So, again, guys, let me know in the comments below. How do you like the new, the way the style of this video is? Hope you guys like it. Again, we are increasing our production a ton. We got a lot of great things coming out for you guys. So, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to NYY News ASAP, this page here. Subscribe to it ASAP. Got a lot of great things coming for you guys, a lot of interactive stuff. Again, as I tell you guys all the time, you are number one. You are the best. Talk to you guys again very, very soon.